Welcome back to another episode of the Jersey Oddcast, where local news meets a little chaos, a whole lot of commentary, and just enough odd to keep things interesting. With Joseph F. Berenato, Gabriel J. Donio, and me, Gina Rullo, we are covering everything from a recent DMV experience that I questioned, did it test my will to live or was it really positive? To the New Jersey's brand new governor taking office and what New Jersey politics looks like as one administration wraps up and another begins. We're going to sit down with Gabriella Mannino Tomasello for a conversation about building a family business, balancing work and life, the role of tying American heritage, and what the future looks like when tradition and growth meet. We've got so much more: pop culture, community calendar, the Oddcast Odd Fact, the Oddcast Forecast, and a little bit more. And all that is coming up right now because it's New Jersey and there's always something going on. Gentlemen, how was your really cold week?
Really cold. Yeah,
Frosty indeed.
I think you pretty much covered it. How was it? It was cold.
Yes.
Cold and unpleasant.
Just
Yeah.
so not a fan and not enjoying it. And my window in my office has lets in some air. It's an older house. Not a fan. Not a fan.
Yeah, I feel that actually I had to go through and find like dish towels and roll them up and put them by some of the older windows just to try and minimize the draft coming in.
Yeah. I had a really good experience with the DMV this week in Folsom. I had to go switch to the Real ID. My
Okay.
license was due for renewal. So I had signed up because I saw it online and we had talked about on the podcast that they were going to be in Folsom. And I have to be honest with you, it is the best DMV or MVC, whatever you want to say, experience in my more than 30 years of driving.
Are you sure?
Why was it good?
Were they from New Jersey?
I, I don't know. Like they were so friendly. I'm like, are you from the Midwest? But no. So
What
you
made it
pull.
so good? What made
You,
it so good?
I made an appointment, which I love a good appointment because that means that's hopefully you're going to be taken on time. So you go in. They say, okay, you just need to go inside to Borough Hall. So I go into Folsom Borough Hall. What's your name? I said, okay, did you bring this documentation? And I have my little stack of documentation that I brought. Okay, we need this. We don't need that. Okay, you're good. Paper clip it together. You need to sign here, fill this out, and then they walk you out to a trailer. You go up into the trailer. You sat for 5 minutes. The guy processes your paperwork. He takes your picture. Now, I have no idea what I look like because he didn't show it to me. So I could look like a serial killer, which is fine. And then that was it. I was done in 20 minutes. It was have a great day. Hope you have a wonderful time. Thank you for being so polite. They were wonderful. It was just very smooth.
Really?
Yes. Highly recommend the mobile DMV. Amazing.
That's I've the only time I've ever experienced overly polite NBC workers. Vineland. If you've ever been there, ever since they were privatized in the 90s, the Vineland employees there have been extraordinarily polite. And I can understand why working at the MVC in general might make you a little bit jaded because you never know who is going to be the next person in line. You never know if they're going to be polite. You never know if they're going to blame you specifically, in particular, for every issue that they've got. And such is the case with most customer service. But maybe one of the reasons that they were so polite there is because they knew they were getting out of the office. It was like a field trip, and we all remember when we were kids how much we loved field trips. So maybe it was just as pleasant for them as it was for you.
Gabe, you had your real ID. Did you have any problems when you got your real ID?
No, and everyone there was polite. I'm not saying it was the experience you had, but it was a nice experience. I think the DMV, people who work there deserve everything that they get, whatever they may get, because you're really dealing with people who don't want to be there. Let's face it.
Yeah.
No one wants to go to the DMV. No one wants to sit and then stand in line and get their picture taken. But it sounds to me like your experience was the opposite of that. It was a pleasure.
No, and the women were so friendly who were helping me out in the beginning. I was like, oh wow, I just made two new friends. I don't know their names, but they were super nice. I was like, this is great. And I was like, really positive experience. Like I said, we'll see what the picture looks like because I might be come back here in 2 weeks and be like, I look like such a dork, or my hair is all crazy, or I have a snot in my nose or something. But we'll see.
No.
We'll see how I look.
It has also been my experience with customer service, whether it's in the governmental level or private industry, that people tend to respond to, and I hate using such a hackneyed phrase, but to the energy that you bring. So if you walked up and if you were polite and you were like, "Good morning, how are you?" then they often respond with that. But if you walk up as confrontational, then they're like taking off their earrings. They're like, "All right, we're ready to go here."
I don't know.
Yep.
Aside from that, last week also welcomed a new governor for New Jersey. Gabe?
That's right, Gina. Mikey Sherrill was sworn in on January 20th as New Jersey's 57th governor, using her inaugural address to draw a sharp contrast between her leadership style and that of President Donald Trump, whom she characterized as governing with unchecked authority. She reaffirmed her campaign message that her administration would serve as a counterweight to his presidency. Sherrill being the first Democratic female governor of the state of New Jersey, Christy Whitman being the first female governor, and a former governor who was a Republican. The Democratic former Congresswoman also returned to one of her central election themes, vowing to focus relentlessly on affordability and expanding opportunity for residents throughout the state. She said, paraphrasing here, she will spend every minute working to make New Jersey more affordable and to open doors for people across the state. Midway through the speech, Sherrill underscored that particular promise by signing executive orders on stage aimed at addressing rising electric costs, a move she had pledged to take during the campaign. Sherrill, a former Navy helicopter pilot and federal prosecutor, took the oath of office during a large inaugural ceremony at the New Jersey Performing Arts Center in Newark. This event came less than 3 months after she secured a decisive victory in a closely watched and very contentious race. In a very New Jersey move, the new governor held her inaugural ball at the American Dream Mall. What's more Jersey than that? So that's the news on the new governor, historic new governor who is already making moves in her beginning stages of her term.
Yeah, and along those lines, at the mall, I don't think any of us could have predicted the new governor of the state of New Jersey coming out and dancing to Naughty by Nature. I didn't even see that coming. I can remember when OPP wasn't played on the radio, and now here's the
Yeah.
governor's. Oh, okay, this was unexpected.
It's a weird world we're living in. You know what I mean? It really is. Like having it at the mall, I felt was so unexpected. And I was like, is Tiffany going to perform or Debbie
Thank you.
Yeah.
Gibson?
Yeah.
I feel
Not
like
naughty
that was
by
a missed
nature.
opportunity. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And did they have an Orange Julius? These are my questions.
Or an Annie Ann's, something like that. Or a
Was was
Cinnabon, at
was,
least a
ev-
Cinnabon.
was everybody served a fribble from Friendlies,
Right.
I have no idea what that is.
some sort of frozen drink?
Okay.
You would drink that while eating a fishamajig.
Again, like the presidential administration, she began her term with executive orders. Not my favorite thing, but it seems to be what you do these days. And
Mm-hmm.
it's always been done. What am I not going to lie? But again, trying to keep New Jersey affordable, I get that. It's crazy. I think we have some of the highest property taxes in the country. So it makes sense. And we want everybody to be able to afford to live in New Jersey in the Garden State. And if you're looking to move to somewhere in New Jersey, specifically South Jersey, you should call Phil Carr.
That's right, Gina. If you're looking to buy or sell your home or commercial property in South Jersey, call Phil Carr, owner of Crowley and Carr Real Estate. Crowley and Carr is the best place in town to find the best place in town. Call them at 609 561 0505 or go to Facebook or Instagram.
Thanks, Gabe. Joe, we wound down the last few days of Governor Phil Murphy's administration with some new rules, laws, whatever you want to call them.
Laws. They were both signed into law, and it's interesting because they were both things that we've discussed here in the past. The first one, just before leaving office, former Governor Phil Murphy signed into law S 1783/A3865, requiring school districts to incorporate instruction on cursive writing in grades 3 to 5 beginning this fall. Public schools must now teach students how to write cursive legibly and become fluent in reading it. According to reports, after the adoption of the Common Core state standards in 2010, which did not include handwriting requirements, cursive had mostly fallen to the wayside. However, a growing number of states have been moving to restoring cursive, noting both the cognitive and educational benefits. Regarding it, Murphy said in a statement that, quote, the return to including cursive instruction is especially meaningful as New Jersey celebrates the upcoming 250th anniversary of our country's founding, giving our students the skills they need to read our nation's founding documents and, and complete tasks like opening a bank account or signing a check, in addition to offering cognitive benefits. Murphy also signed S4834/A6235, which requires riders to have a license to ride all forms of e-bikes, regardless of speed capability. According to reports, all forms of e-bikes, including bikes with fully operable pedals and also a motor, are classified as motorized bicycles, which require a license from the Motor Vehicle Commission, and hopefully they'll have as pleasant a time as you did. Riders must at least be 15 years old to obtain such a license. Additionally, like all drivers in the state, they need 6 points of ID and they must pass a written and vision test, take a road test, after having a permit for at least 20 days, according to the MVC's website. The website also notes, however, that New Jersey residents who have a standard driver's license can ride e-bikes without a separate motorized bicycle license. Additionally, according to reports, the law requires that e-bikes be registered and insured. E-bike owners will have 6 months to meet the new licensing, registration, and insurance requirements, and licensing and registration fees will be waived for 1 year.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay. I have so many questions.
One thing you can't do is you can't write in cursive while you're riding your e-bike.
I feel like that's a challenge. You mean
Yeah.
you shouldn't? You definitely
You
shouldn't. And
shouldn't.
it probably
I mean, maybe
violates the law, but
they can do an executive order about that.
these,
I don't know.
yeah, but these were laws. They passed both the Assembly and the Senate. Murphy signed them into law. I have been a huge proponent of bringing cursive back for the longest time, specifically for the reason that Murphy said in that statement.
People
We
can't read it.
Yeah, like, okay, well, the Constitution says this. How do you know? Because it says it in this book. Well, can you read the original document? How do you know that's what that actually said? And it's going to get to the point where, like, from a genealogical perspective, kids won't be able to read like letters from their grandmother or great grandmother. They'll have no idea what was said. You bring this back and you are continuing that skill. And studies have shown, along with going down the cognitive benefits, that people often learn differently and retain different information if they write it down, if they go through the actual process of writing it down, and specifically with that manner of handwriting, it gets stored in a different part of the brain and you have better retention with that. So I'm all about that. And we had discussed before, I think more than once, the need to enact legislation for e-bikes, considering how fast they can go, that people were riding them on
Dangerous.
riding them on sidewalks and so forth. And we saw this coming down the pike, no pun intended, for some
The black or the white.
either or for some time. So it was only a matter of time. Now, from what I understand, from what I've read online, this law is a bit contentious and it's one of the most restrictive in the nation. But welcome to New Jersey.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of bicycle safety, no matter what it is. I've often remarked about the number of kids I see riding bicycles without helmets in town. It makes me like a little twitchy because I know how easy it is to get into an accident. We've seen them. You add a motorized bike to it, it did make it worse. But I think this is a great opportunity for some new businesses to come. Driver's ed for e-bikes.
Okay.
I think this could be like a really good little side business for somebody, or if somebody has a driving school. You can always find a way to make money off of a new law.
I have
Oh,
to ask the question: are these people going to the DMV too now?
they're
It's a
going.
license, yeah.
They're
Yeah.
going to have to. Just if you had someone who wanted to get a moped license or wanted to get a motorcycle license, they have to go to the DMV. They're all going. Yes.
Well, at least maybe they can go to Folsom and have a good experience. So
So whether you're going to pass the writing test for your new e-bike and you have to apply for your license, or if you're going to be writing in cursive and reading in cursive, you need to make sure your vision is up to par. And that's why we say go where we go. All three of us go to Hammonton Family Eye Care.
that's right, and it's a great place to go. Hammonton Family Eye Care for routine and medical eye care for all ages, from glasses to contacts to eye exams and more. Visit Hammonton Family Eye Care, Peachtree Plaza, 80 South Whitehorse Pike in Hammonton. Call 609-567-7479 or go to hammontonfamilyeyecare.com.
I'm excited to welcome our next guest on the show. Not only is she an incredible businesswoman, she's also a friend of mine for about a decade now, and that's the one and only Gabriella Mannino Tomasello, owner of Mannino's Cannoli Express. Gabby, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you
Welcome,
guys for
Gabby.
having me. I'm so excited.
It's our pleasure.
Yep, a pleasure.
As being a New Yorker, I love cannoli, and it's always a staple at every family holiday for me growing up. We had the one bakery we'd always go to in Astoria to get our cannoli. And when I first moved to Hammonton, there was not great cannoli. And then when you opened, which was
Right.
many years after I had lived here, I'm like, oh, Hammonton finally has great cannoli. And I brought it home to New York to tell my parents. And they're like, it's about time. Like, how did you live in this
Finally.
Italian town? Can you tell our listeners about how you started the business and, your background? They may not know you that well.
Okay, so for anybody who does not know me, I am Gabriella, known as AKA the Cannoli Queen.
Woohoo.
Also the owner of Mannino's Cannoli Express out of Hammonton. So I got started about 2011, 2012. I was a volunteer for the Hammonton Blueberry Festival. I worked alongside the Chamber of Commerce and the president, John Rumpolo, for a long time. I was a National Honor Society volunteer. So prior to me starting the business, I was just a volunteer. That's all I did was help get stuff out, baked goods out of the Chamber of Commerce tent. So I attended Atlantic Cape Community College in 2010 to 11 and 12. And during those years, I was still helping at the Blueberry Festival every year. And every year they were just running out of baked goods, pies, the cannoli. So there was a high demand for the blueberry cannoli there. There just wasn't enough bakeries who made it for them. So I had spoke to John going into 2011 and I said, listen, I'd like to take on that challenge of making the 800 pounds, 900 pounds. And he's, Gab, that's way too much. That's a lot of work. To me, I'm like, we got this, no problem. So, being in the background of the pizzeria business alongside my father, Vito, who owned Pizza Town in Acco for many years, starting in 1985, I think it was.
I think that's when you and Gabe first met, when you were just like
Yes.
probably a high
Yeah,
school
when you were a
student,
kid.
right?
That's right.
Yeah, I was super young, but I was super determined to get my pastries out there, my goods. I love to cook. I was always in the kitchen. I would sleep after school on flour bags under the prep table in the pizzeria just to hang with my family because I wanted to be part of everything. 2011, I took on the challenge of making the blueberry cannoli at the Blueberry Festival, and it was perfect sellout just right until the end. And I remember John Rumpolo coming up to me, and he's like, "Whatever you just did, we have to double it for next year." So that is like where everything started. And I was just so happy. I remember being in my ACC chef jacket, and I'm just like, just nonstop with the pastry. I think I looked up twice and I took 2 sips of water all day, and that was pretty
Can
much
believe it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was June of 2011, and then come September 2011, I opened up the LLC for Mannino's Cannoli Express. So from
Wow.
there, yeah, it was a big jump, but there was a demand. There was a demand for my cannoli. It was. There, everybody makes a great cannoli. I'm not going to knock other bakeries. I'm all about it. There's just certain things that I do differently. Quality over quantity is always my thing. So that's where everything started. And I purchased our first little cannoli cart going into the fall season. And I just did a couple craft shows. I just had chocolate chip cannoli cream and fresh blueberry cannoli cream. And that was it. Two choices. I think they were like $4 each back then.
Oh,
So,
wow.
so it was go to festival after festival. And then it got to the point where everybody's calling me and emailing me, and they wanted Mannino's at their festival. So I started expanding a little bit. The orders started getting bigger. I opened up to private rentals. I opened up to offsite catering, stuff like that. And that's like how the food truck for Mannino's kind of started. And from there, I purchased another cart trailer. It was enclosed because the final straw for me was being stuck in a rainstorm during a
Right.
craft festival. So after that, I went right to Berlin to Franklin Trailers. I said, here you go, run my card. I need that trailer right there.
I love that because I feel like you hit the food truck craze just right.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
perfect timing. I have to say, it was perfect timing. I had about 2-3 years with the baby cart that was not enclosed, which gave me a little bit of experience of doing the on-site stuff, the generators. I had no idea. Nobody tells you, hey, this is how you need to start your business. I had the experience of being in the pizzeria, restaurant, customer service, all that, but nobody told me, hey, you need a Honda EU generator to make sure it's quiet. I'm in Valenzetto Winery with 7 extension cords and a generator from Home Depot. So that was pretty fun. That was like one of my third festivals, Valenzetto Wine Fest. And yeah, my generator was in the vineyard on 7 electric extension cords. So that was pretty fun.
Do you still do that event?
Because it's hot. It's in September, so it's really not. It doesn't benefit me anymore doing that festival. But if they do call me and they're like, "Gab, we need you," people want salt. They need food when they're doing Wine Fest. So
Mhm.
to me, it was good in the beginning, but it was like I feel like it died out with the sweet vendors. So a lot. I know not just me, but a lot of the other sweet food trucks pushed away from that, and now like I focus more on our local events, stuff to do within the community here in Hammonton, within Atlantic County. I try and do private rentals, a lot of catering, stuff like that. So all good though. I love it.
When did you
Tell
open
us.
up your Oh, sorry, Gabe.
No, you beat me to the punch. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you ask it.
I was going to say, tell us about opening your brick and mortar store in downtown Hamilton and how that came about, and how long have you been there?
So I opened 220 Bellevue Ave May 2018. There was a for rent sign February 2018, and I said to my husband, "Hey, that's a cute building. We should like maybe do like a commercial prep kitchen in there to help with the food truck because I was using my dad's pizzeria. So it was a lot of back and forth. When they needed to use the mixer, I needed to use the mixer. So I had to wait until they closed at 11:30 p.m. to then I would go in and mix cream till 1 or 2 in the morning, and then I would be up at 4 a.m. for festivals.
Oh man.
So that was getting pretty aggravating because I started to do a couple more events right up until 2017, 18. I was up to 3, 4 trailers. So I was doing 6 to 7 events a weekend,
Mm.
just load, drop off, staff out. My girls are amazing. My Mannino staff is so kick butt that like I would die without them. I really would. I'm so grateful
Fair.
for them because Mannino's is nothing without the staff. I can only do so much and I'm only capable of so much, but having them as my backbone to run the front for me, to help me prep stuff is amazing because without them, I'd be one man band and it would be
Sure.
impossible. It's possible, but I would not be able to take on the high demand and the large quantity of stuff that we do. So
And the
brick and
quality.
mortar,
And the
yeah,
quality. That's helps they help you
absolutely.
maintain that quality.
Yeah, it definitely for sure. That's number one. They know exactly how I like things packaged, how everything needs to be clean, no fingerprints anywhere on the glass or on the cases. So a little OCD, but they're good. They're like little mini Gabbies. I love it.
Oh no, a whole army of them.
It's a little scary too. But we saw the for rent sign February 2018. So the idea was to do just a prep kitchen and that's it. I was just going to be open for pickup orders and that was it. And my husband looked at me and he's, Gab, you're more than just a prep kitchen. Your name is out there, your brand is out there, the product is out there. He goes, why don't we push for a little more? And I said, okay. So it was balls to the wall, grab the painter's tape and start getting the tape and the counter marked out and granite picked out and kitchen equipment ordered and espresso machine, gelato machine. And I'm like, holy cow, this is really happening. this
Yeah.
is really going to happen. It was a big step for me, but it was also a relief because I was going to have the prep room to have my own, to be on my own, to prep whenever I want, to have the flexibility to open and close whenever I want, and to also serve the community. Like, what better than to have a storefront now instead of people saying, hey, I'll see you at the next festival. That's only when they can get their cannoli fixed.
Yeah.
Right.
So we opened Memorial Day weekend of May 2018, and it was phenomenal. I didn't know my hours. I was just like, guys, we're going to open at 9 and we're going to close whenever it dies down. And I think we didn't get out of there until almost midnight that night. It
It
was
was
so
crazy.
awesome. Yeah, it was definitely crazy. A lot of trial and error, but we had about 10 cannoli creams on the menu, which was insane because I had staff in there that I trained for 2-3 months, which was great. But once the doors open, people are ordering 3-4 flavors at a time, and they're just like, you just see pastry bags flying all
Yeah.
over, and I'm like, oh my god, the mess on the counter. That's all I can remember. But I didn't even know how to scoop gelato, so I had one of my girls actually previously worked at Rita's, so I just kept her on the gelato case all day. She's, do you mind if I get a drink of water? I'm like, yeah, go. But it was literally 12 hours, 13 hours nonstop, but it was amazing. So that's how the brick and mortar came about in that time. And here we are 8 years later.
I remember when you opened and thinking like the chaos in there that maybe you needed a fence to corral all these people, or I feel that way like on Thanksgiving and Christmas time that you do need that. And we would say you need to call Master Wire for something like that.
Yes, we do, because for more than 40 years, Masterwire Manufacturing Fence Company has been providing the South Jersey and tri state area with residential and commercial fence supplies and services. Whether you're looking for quality products to do it yourself or are in need of a trustworthy fencing company to install your fence, they've got you covered. Masterwire Manufacturing Fence Company provides the highest quality products and customer service to each and every person who walks through their doors or gives them a call. Contact MasterWire at 609-567-1616 or visit their website at masterwirefence.net.
I remember seeing Gabby all the time at the Blueberry Festival, and I also see Steve Kincaid from Marinella Funeral Home as being one of our dedicated community volunteers.
Yes, Gina, and the Marinella Funeral Home has been serving the community since 1962 and has been family owned and operated for 3 generations. Marinella Funeral Home provides individually designed burial, cremation, and pre planned funeral services to meet the needs of each family. Ask them about how pre planning provides true peace of mind for your family. Contact the Marinella Funeral Home, located at 102 North 3rd Street in Hammonton at 609 561 1311.
I can't believe that it's been almost 8 years that
I
that
know.
store.
It is so crazy. I don't even feel like
Yeah,
when you love what you do, it just flies by. And I really love being in Hamilton. I love my shop. It's my home away from, it's my baby. It
it's
is
it.
just, I love
Says the
it.
mom of two.
I know.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
too. Chaotic mom of two.
Yeah, and it's interesting you say that it's your home away from home because, like, I've seen you post like at 3 o'clock in the morning that you're making this or making that.
Yep.
Your store defies logic because conventionally you're like, okay, how is a place that just specializes in cannoli in such a niche offering? How is that going to survive? Because they're delicious. So you've been here for 8 years, but it takes up a lot of your time. How do you balance that with your home life?
A lot of alcohol and wine. No, I'm just kidding. I
Fair
just,
enough.
yeah, I grew up, like I said, with my father in the pizzeria business. And I guess the experience of growing up in the business and seeing how hard my whole family worked in the business. And not that family came second, but it was always just hard work. It was just always go and then we'll have family time later. So I guess when I opened the shop, I wanted to make sure I made work, and home, and to always keep family first. So I always make sure we have vacation in the summertime where we close for a week. I give my staff time off. It gives us a reset. Same thing after Christmas. I guess you could say just learning how to separate the two and not have them combine to make sure, okay, when I walk out the door in my shop, my phone goes off. I'm not answering emails until the next morning. So I keep them separated as much as I can, and I try to limit involving family with the work because I grew up and it was just work, business, pizza, and it was hard. It led my parents to divorce, which sucks, but they're fine now. Everybody's cordial, which is fine. But I don't want to go through that. But I have to say, my daughters love my shop. They are trained mini me's. My kids could run my shop. God forbid something ever happened to me. These girls know exactly how to box everything up, how to ring people out, customer service. I'm so proud of how my girls are. They help me bake. They help me in the holiday times with everything. And I always get compliments on my kid, which I'm so grateful for that because even their teachers are like, we love them, but they're also like, Mom, can we get 30 minis on Friday? Because Miss just said it would be like a really nice treat.
And that's, yeah. Oh, your kids are so great. Thank you very much. These are delicious. Yes, we love
Right.
your
Yeah,
kids. They bring us snacks.
for sure. For sure. But yeah, I try and just keep them separated and I try and just think in my head when I walk out of the shop, like now is family time. So try and be home. I make dinner mostly every night home with the kids. I try and spend as much time as I can with them. Summertime, a little more overstaffed with my college help. So I'm able to spend most of the summer with the kids off, which is really nice.
I envy your ability to shut off the phone when you leave and to try
Mm.
not to
It's
think about
hard.
work.
It's really
Oh,
hard.
it,
It's really
yeah.
hard.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Yep.
it is. So kudos for that because I can't do it.
Thank you.
Speaking of your daily life, one of the questions we had for you was how much does your Italian heritage impact your work and your daily life? Obviously, food is such a big part of
For
Italian
sure.
heritage. So maybe you could give us a little inkling of how much that permeates both your work life and your home life.
I'm having the background, like I said, in the restaurant business and being around my nonna, who is so old school, and her traditions have definitely influenced me to make sure I pass them down to my kids too. Showing my kids in the kitchen how to cook exactly how my nonna taught me is definitely something I've accomplished in the last few years of the kids getting older. And even in the shop, we try and keep everything as traditional as possible, but having my nonna there, like especially in Christmas time and all, and I forget some things. So we make the Sicilian fig cookie, the cucciati cookie. You
Mm.
can't get them over here. They're only in New York and Brooklyn and Astoria, and nobody makes them around here. It's a labor of love, but to have my nonna even tell me, like, I messed up this December. She's, oh, you forgot the walnuts. I said, Nonna, it's just almonds. No, it's walnuts. I was like, oh God, I had to run out and get walnuts. So even me, I was like, oh my goodness, I never forget anything. I'm perfect.
Cannoli queen forgot
I know.
something.
I'm like, and she looked at me and she's, no, no. And I was like, oh, really? I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot. Really? She, honey. Mm-mm. So having the influence of the Italian heritage on me has just been like awesome. Or from pizza sauce to marinara sauce to Alfredo, all the mother sauces, and then having the culinary background that I went to school for definitely helps because I was French taught. So to see their ways too compared to like our Italian ways is pretty. They're similar, but they're different. But I can't imagine not having the 50 pounds of pasta and the 29 jars of tomato sauce in the pantry because it
Talk
wouldn't
a
work.
little talk a little bit about the difference between the way you were taught and the way you learned growing up. What are the differences between the two cultures?
So I'd say the difference between the two cultures is the traditional way is definitely everything homemade. Pasta homemade, ricotta homemade, mozzarella homemade. Where what I was taught was a little bit of the shortcuts. We're getting dry egg pasta, we're getting just, ricotta from here or there. Definitely I'd say the labor in between because the mothers were home, the grandmothers were home, they had time and their job was to have dinner on the table every night for their family. So I think the shortcut ways now, like both parents have to work. So it's not where mom's home all the time and stuff like that. So I definitely say not, and mostly everything's homemade, but there's just some shortcuts now that are in there.
How about from the French style way you were taught versus the way our grandparents taught us how to cook in Italian American households?
Definitely way different, similar in some ways, but the French, there's a lot of butter. It's a lot of butter and cream. Like, holy cow. I just remember making a beurre blanc sauce, and my one chef from school was like, that's not enough butter. And I think we went through 4 pounds, and I'm just like, how is it not enough? There's no way. Where we're just like garlic and oil in the pan, and like we're ready as Italians. We just have garlic on deck all the time. So
Fair.
I think, yeah, the French are definitely like what I was taught in school compared to what I cook Italian wise is way different. I think the butter to cream ratio is just enormous compared to the Italian.
I think would be okay adopting that. I think
Yeah, it's not bad.
yeah,
Phoenix arteries, sure,
Like,
go for
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, like a judicious mix of butter and then olive oil mixed in to help it glide through the arteries, and I think would be
Hmm.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's all good.
check with a doctor, Joe, because I don't know if that's going to
Ah,
be okay.
please.
I would say that having been to your house and all that, you've really mastered the art of Italian hospitality. You cook, you make this, and you make everybody feel like they are part of your family, that they're not just friends. There's that very warmth. And there's also, you've chided me too in the kitchen and things like that. And I think there's something too that you've really mastered that other side of it, not just the back of the house, but the front of the house to really give that authentic feeling. And do you ever have to turn that off and be like corporate business person, or do you always exude that warmth?
I really always try to, and that's just me. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm a nice person. I try and just treat everybody like family because unless you've done me wrong, there's really no reason for me not to be welcoming and nice to you. But sometimes I try to turn it off, but it's just not there. It's not me. It's not me. It's not, I don't have a mean bone in my body. I care for everybody. I love when everybody's in my house. I love when everybody's in the kitchen. Same thing at the shop. I love when people come in and sit down. The tables are here. Stay a while, use the Wi Fi, have cups of coffee, have cannoli. And that's what I try and when everybody comes in, I'm like, here, stay. I'll make it for here. And I have gotten it in the past that people are like, when you walk into Menino's, it's literally like just warmth and welcoming. And same thing with my staff. Even if I'm not there, my staff is the same way. And that's just where I come from. That's how I grew up. It was always fun day and 30 cousins and in everywhere. Tiny houses. My nonna's house, tiny as hell, and we're all in there. Like her little kitchen cooking, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't even breathe. I remember being like a teenager and I was like, no, I'm not going. And my parents are like, you're going, get up. But now my Sunday Fundays are the same way. So I totally understand how Nonna feels or felt back in the day having the whole family over because that's how we are. We're our every day, not even Sunday Fundays. It is I love when people are in my house. I love to cook for people. It's my love language. It's how
Yeah,
it is.
it's an expression of love for at least Italians, probably other cultures, but it's definitely an
Mhm.
expression of love. You want to see people eat. You want to feed them. You want them to enjoy the thing that you made for them, and it brings everyone
For
together.
sure. But
Yeah.
me, I'm like, do you like it? Do you want more? And everybody's, oh, I'm stuffed. I ate a pound of macaroni. And I'm like, that's not enough. You barely ate. What do you mean you're stuffed? No way.
See, she wants to feed you. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the love language.
yeah.
My husband tells me, I was 150 pounds, 130 pounds when I met you. And I was like, that's cool. I was like, he's 220 now, 225. He's hurting. I'm like, I don't put the fork to your mouth, so I don't know what you want me to do. The food's there. If you want to eat it, eat it. I'm not forcing it down your throat.
And
That's
I think
always
you
so
were not
fun.
trained to cook for 4 people, you were trained to cook for 40 people.
It's just how it is. This snowstorm, forget about it. I took all the meat out of the freezer. I'm like, I don't even know what I'm cooking, but here we are. Sure, 40 pounds of chicken, we're good. I'm gonna pound them out for cutlets later.
That sounds wonderful to me.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Another business that prides themselves treating their customers like family is Bagliani's Market.
that's right, Gina. And at Bagliani's Market, they always say that we treat our customers like family. With a variety of custom cut meats, farm fresh produce, delicious cheeses, a full deli, and more, Bagliani's Market has something for everyone. They are famous for their wide variety of authentic Italian specialty products. Try their Italian bread and rolls, prepared foods, and homemade pasta. Follow their social media for weekly loyalty reward promos. Baglandi's Market is located at 417 12th Street in Hammonton. Call 609-561-0693 or visit Facebook and Instagram for more information.
And just down the street from Mannino's Cannoli Express on Bellevue Avenue is Diversified Insurance.
Yes, indeed. And you should see Diversified Insurance for all your commercial and personal insurance needs. They are a value-added firm. They provide unsurpassed service, consult with you to determine your needs, and offer you a choice of insurance plans and programs. They are a value hunter who can find the best combination of coverage, service, and price. Contact them today at 609-567-7771 or visit their website at diversifiedinsuranceofnj.com.
Thanks, Joe. Gabby, are there any products besides your cannoli or maybe a cannoli product that has really taken off and that's really surprised you? Because you're more than just cannoli. People should know that. Is there anything else that you're like, wow, I can't believe this is as popular as it is?
Definitely the regatta cookies that I make for sure. People don't
Oh,
expect them. Kind of
Joe's
just like,
diabetes is going
okay,
off right.
Gab,
yeah, they're just like hand in hand right now where we just make them constantly. Before I was just doing them on the weekends and just making them Friday and Saturday, but now it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday.
I think I've told you this before, and if not, I know I've told other people, and I hope she doesn't come back and haunt me, but your regatta cookies are better than my mother's were.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Like,
That's my praise.
Thank
they're
you.
fantastic.
Oh, you just,
And
you're going to be haunted forever.
Hers were extraordinary, and the first time I tried one, I got flashbacks, and I'm like, oh, this is even better than Fran's. Thank God she's not here to hear that. So,
I get it. I get people from Philly over the bridge all the time that come and they're like, I've been going to this place in Philly for years and this place in Philly for years and I'm done. I'm coming to you. I'll pay that toll. And they come all the time. And I was like, wow, that's a big deal to drive 35, 40 minutes from Philadelphia to Hammonton.
yeah.
And so the regatta cookies are up there. The maritozzi's we just brought back. They are delicious. They are taken off.
Explain what those are for people.
So the maritozzi's are a citrus honey brioche bun, and they're baked to perfection. And then they are cut in the middle, and then we fill it with fresh whipped cream / chantilly cream. But I use the Madagascar vanilla beans. So I'll cut the beans in half, scrape the inside of the beans out, and that's what goes inside of the mixer with the heavy cream to make it whipped cream.
Wow.
And then they're just slabbed on the inside. We can do fresh jams. So the jams we've been doing homemade. I took on a little bit of gardening last season, so a lot of canning came about. So I was really excited about that because I put some stuff out for Christmas and everything went. I was like, wow.
What did you can, Gabby?
What did I do? I had about 93 tomato plants last summer. So we did a lot of salsa. We did a lot of tomato sauce jars, blueberry jam, blueberry compote, strawberry jam, a lot of fruit jams, peach jam. Got the peaches from Pasteur. They were delicious. They were really nice last summer, but it was a whole different project for me. I've always gardened, but this was like super spectacular for me because I did it without my husband's help and I had the whole backyard torn up with a rototiller and he came home and almost had a heart attack. So that was pretty fun.
Was the heart attack because of what you're feeding him, or is the heart attack because of the shock on his face, or a combo?
I think it was because I tore the grass up without him knowing, and him being an operator from Local 825, everything is like precision and on point and machines. I didn't have a machine, so then I went to John Deere and I bought a tractor too. So that was the other surprise. I said, you got to go pick it up. And he's, what are you doing? And I was like, no, it's for the tomatoes. I just want it for the tomatoes. But it ended up being such a great hobby I fell in love with because just like the kitchen, this was outdoor, but it was cultivation. So I was hands-on in the dirt, which is something I've never done before. I'm not a dirt girl. I'm not an outdoor person unless it's vacation. So it was really fun to get down and dirty. And I had an amazing garden, amazing, just awesome. Basil, fresh herbs, eggplant. I have garlic growing right now. I planted that in October. So that'll be right. We have about 90 bulbs in there. So that'll be ready by like the end of June, July. So I'm looking forward.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was really, I shared with everybody. It's just
Yeah.
Everybody coming over, here you go. It's just like eating. I'm like, here, take jars of sauce with you. Here you go.
I have always gotten a kick out of Italian American gardens, or what we call
Hmm.
gardens, because they're like a half an acre or an acre. And nobody else would call it a farm. And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
yeah, just got to go out into my garden. Come on, get in the
Yeah, we're
tractor. We're going to
good.
go.
We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I bought a
Yeah.
greenhouse now, so that's the next project. So
Does
that's
Albie know?
he knows he's gonna put it together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Most people's idea of a garden doesn't involve farm equipment and buildings.
Yeah,
In a
it's
greenhouse.
crazy. It is
Did
That's
you
so
build
crazy.
crazy.
your did you build a basement kitchen yet? Like how old school Italian lady are you?
Yeah, so the racks are downstairs. I don't have the kitchen yet, so that's gonna be soon. But everything, we put the huge gazebo up last year out back, and that's like my outdoor kitchen all summer. We have the pizza oven too, which is my second or third kitchen, I like to call it, because you just long hots, the amount of long hots and wings and pizzas we did over the summer. That was the whole reason I bought the pizza trailer, was to have it in the backyard on the patio, like to just wheel it up, because we're doing 200, 225 of stuffed long hots every Saturday and Sunday, like
oh my.
those 2 days.
Wow.
So yeah, everybody comes over and they know like Gabby's house is the place to be, like in the summertime, which is fun. But I was able to grow a lot of the stuff that I baked and cooked, which was awesome. It was so, just having the fresh herbs and bruschetta and you name it. We did sauce day in August with my whole family. We did close to 300 jars, which was awesome. Half came from the garden, the other half we got at the produce stand. But yeah, it was really fun.
Hmm.
Tell us about the pizza truck. Is that a new business that you have for the last couple years, or what are you
Oh,
doing?
yeah, the pizza trailer I just use for private stuff. I prep the dough at the cannoli shop, stuff like that. I do want to make it a full time business eventually if I could, but right now just doing some little things and private catering if needed, and then just in the backyard, Sunday Sundays.
Okay.
It seems like Gabby has 4 extra hours in the day than the rest.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, because I don't
Right? I
understand how you
mean,
do
I
it.
don't know how you do it all, but I'm glad you do because it looks like it's good on you. I mean,
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely fun. If I didn't know how to make pizza dough, we'd definitely be in trouble because I got this big monster thing in the backyard and I'm like, okay, guys, time to whip some dough up. So one batch of dough is 180 dough balls. So summertime, here I am just rolling balls, getting arthritis in my hands. But definitely having the background, it's something. I will always be a pizza girl forever. We love
right.
pizza just like we love pasta. So if my dad was to ever retire and the businesses in Pittman, they need me, I would totally take them over, no problem, because I know what I'm doing. I know who the food suppliers are. So I was just trained like a soldier into the pizza business. That's how I look at it. I was just like, okay, sure, no problem.
So you're in the reserves until you're called up to active duty.
Correct. And then when I said, hey, I'm going to be opening my own cannoli bit for, what do you need to do that for? The pizza business is enough, Gab. Why do you need to be on your own, Dad? Because I want to do things. I want to get paid by check. I want to have a family. I want to buy a house. There's a lot of things I wanted to accomplish at 18 and 19, which I had Ava when I was 18, which was awesome. Not planned, of course, but hey.
Okay.
Things
Yeah.
things happen, but she's
Yeah.
Yeah, I just remember graduating culinary school. I had my chef jacket on. I had this big pregnant belly, and my dean of students was Chef McClay, who I always have adored since day one. She taught me so much in the kitchen, and
She
she's
was
just
wonderful.
one.
Yeah,
She is just
she
the
was
best.
wonderful.
One of my mentors, somebody I still look up to this day. And I remember having Ava, and I brought Ava into the school about 2 months later, and I just brought her into the office, and she's, give me the baby. She just wanted to hold Ava, didn't want to let her go. And I'm like, I have to go to history class, Chef. Like, I got to go.
Yeah.
What advice do you have for other women who want to get into their own culinary business, which we've seen to be a lot of men dominated?
For sure. It's definitely, yeah.
What do you advice do you have for them? Is there an age that's too young? You've been doing it from a very young age. How do they get it? How do they find the drive? How do they balance everything? Like you've been seem to be doing successfully.
It is super hard. So if you're not a trained soldier, trying to become that trained soldier is super hard. I want to say start before you have kids or start after your kids are old enough to be able to fend for themselves, because it's definitely a challenge. If you have a great support system, definitely go for it, because women can kick ass in business. And I know a lot of business owners that are women, and a lot of food truck owners that are women, and they are some of the strongest women that I know. I'm like, they do the job of a man. Like you said, the restaurant business is definitely dominated by men, but you have women that can outdo these men in no time, which is crazy to see, because I think a lot of men get intimidated by seeing women business owners. It has happened to me in the past, for sure, with food truck festivals, and they're looking for my husband to back up the trailer, and I'm like, "Hey guys, I got it. Like, I know what I'm doing." And they're like,
Right.
"Wow, okay." But I think they just automatically think. So definitely have your ducks in a row. It's never too late to start. Just organize your life first before you want to go full throttle, because it's definitely a challenge. Once you get the groove of things, everything will work out, and then you'll be flexible. That's how I look at it. But you also need a strong staff, which is something, like I said, I'm so grateful for, because I die without my girls. I really would.
I've always found that dichotomy interesting, especially in the culinary industry, because it does seem to be a male dominated business. But if you look, not like societally,
Mhm.
when boys are growing up, stay out of the kitchen. This is women's work.
Domain in there for sure.
Yeah. And yet, once it crosses over into the professional realm, women, what are you doing here? This is men's work. Like, where did that shift even? And I know none of us have the answer to this, but
Hmm.
I've always been confused by that dichotomy, because it makes no sense to me whatsoever.
It is
Right.
weird because when you think of a chef, and I say, "Oh, yes, chef," you on the TV
Hmm.
shows and things like that, you don't automatically think of women. You
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
of men, and I don't know why that translates that way into business, but it didn't translate that way for you, Gab. You wound
No
up,
way. No
yeah,
way. And I did work in the casinos during culinary school. So I did go through the whole yes chef thing. I worked at McCormick and Schmick's at Harrah's for about 2 years. And I did back of the house, garde manger. So it was cold prep, salads, appetizers that were cold. And then I worked front of the house, and I found out that front of the house was a little more like in my feminine era than it was for the back of the house. So I was intimidated. I was overlooked as a young woman in the kitchen, but I learned a lot from the chefs there. They were just awesome. They were bringing in 200-pound tunas hanging from the ceiling, and I just got to watch them. When I said, "Chef, let me help you," and they actually let me help them, and they were like, "I can't believe you know what to do. Like, you have the right knife." And I was like, "Yeah, I know how to cut this fish, no problem." But yeah, it's definitely overlooked, and for sure, the whole yes chef, no chef. You think of a male, you don't think of a female. So I think the women have definitely stepped up to plate. Food Network, which we have been mentioned previous
Yes, you
times,
have.
top
Yep.
101 food trucks in America. So I think the women have definitely put their foot in the door with the culinary world for sure, and I think they're kicking ass. I'm proud of them.
I
right.
I think enough can be said about how your parents didn't put that limit on you, you know what I mean? Your father being in it and, like, encouraging you to be there, and maybe not wanting you to break up with him and start your
Yeah,
own
there was no
business.
prom. There was no like semi-formal dances like Gab, you're working about 11 to 11
Yeah.
Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
No
So,
way.
do you know what I'm saying? So I think that they believe that you could do anything. It didn't matter what your gender was. Even though your dad was the one who owned the restaurant business,
For sure.
he still believed that you could do it. He just wanted you to do it with him maybe in the beginning, and now I know he's very
Yeah.
proud of you.
Yes, for sure. But when Nonna would walk in, forget about it. Like my dad didn't matter, my uncle didn't matter, any other employees, like Nonna was the yes chef
Yep.
of the
Hmm.
pizzeria. That's how
Okay.
it was. Like that was a tent hut.
As it should be.
right.
It was fun though. I can't say I have any bad memories, because I definitely loved growing up in the business. Definitely a challenge. Definitely seeing your parents work 24/7 and not be home all the time. And then the weekends, I'm like, oh, so and so has a baseball game. I want to go. No, you're working. Oh, you're working. I want to go to the boardwalk. You're working. Okay. So I think that was just expected, not so much demanded, but expected growing up, that I was to take the place of my parents once my parents retired. I had a different route in mind.
And they've encouraged that, which is wonderful.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's next for Mannino's? What do you see you doing in the next couple of years that you could share with the public?
Mannino's has some stuff in store,
Okay,
maybe an expansion soon. I can't give too many details.
that's exciting.
Definitely a little more involvement in the espresso area. So
Gabe
a
and Joe
little,
would love that.
yeah. So we have coffee at the shop, cold, no problem. But the espresso is where I want to dig a little deeper with different beans that we're working with from different regions in Italy and Sicily, comparing them, the froth, the foam, the creaminess. So going through a little trial and error stuff right now to get that on point, and possibly a little more seating in the cannoli shop, like more of a loungy area kind of thing. So that's what's next. Our food truck season's coming up, so we're definitely excited for that. A little less festivals, just focusing on the local community events and the private events for right now. I'm not making myself go crazy doing 50, 60 events a year. It's not there anymore. It's just oversaturated, unfortunately. From 2016 to like 2018, that was like the highest peak for all the food truckers. It's just foods, the spots and stuff, like the spot fees are tremendous. Now they're going for 300-400 when we used to pay like
Oh,
100 to 200 per day.
Oh,
So before you sit here and make $400, you have to pay the spot fee, pay your staff, plus your product charge. So you have to come out and almost 10 times your money before you can even make a profit. So things took a little bit of a turn, I'd say, after COVID with the food trucks. So I'm not stepping down from it, just
Assessing.
prioritizing the bigger events and always being here for the community events in Hammonton for sure.
are you planning at any point to bring back the cannoli filling that has the candied fruit in it, or was I the only person who ordered them?
You're special, Joe. You know this.
I know that. I am. Yes.
I would like to introduce it maybe more towards the springtime when we have a little bit more traffic with the blueberry cannoli, and maybe we can name it the Berenato cannoli after
That'll be lovely. I would love that.
Joe's life will be made, Gabby. He won't
look
need
at that.
anything else.
Like,
you. I know,
well,
I
they
love
named the
it.
cannoli after me. That's the height. I've done some cool things, but that right there, put that on my
For
tombstone.
sure. I
Yeah.
got you. No problem.
Are
You
you
are
going?
now a staple in the downtown of Hammonton. How has the community changed or the business community changed since you've been there? And what has you excited about opening the Bellevue Avenue doors every day? What do you love about being in downtown?
So I think being in downtown, you're definitely prime location. It's definitely easier for people to just park right in front, come right in. I would like for people to stay more. I know people are just in and out, but I really would like for people to stay more, which is something I'm working on doing to get more people in to stay.
that lounge would help, I
Oh
think.
yeah.
It'd be
Yeah.
Yeah.
better.
I really
You know,
want some expensive furniture, Gabe.
that's a good way to start. And then
Like the Boston vibes, North End vibes, stuff like that. I love
I
going
got
to the North End in Boston, so it's
yeah.
my favorite. So I kind of want to mimic that a little bit to keep the doors open 7 days a week. I really would love to be open 7 days a week. It's just Mondays are just dead. But come summertime, it's a whole different ball game. But right now in the winter, it's a little quiet.
Yeah.
So I take Mondays to reset with the kids, get everything on track again, inventory, payroll, stuff like that. But
You want to
I
create
think
like that third place for people. I mean,
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Definitely like where people can just hang and free Wi-Fi if you got to do some homework. Even for the kids, like the high school kids or the middle school kids, whoever wants to come, it's chill here. Come one, come all. That's how I am. Like just like my house. Like I
I got
love having people stay. When everybody's leaving, I'm like, no, don't go. Why?
I gotta ask, since you brought up the North End in Boston, that's my old stomping grounds from when I was in
Yes.
college. Mike's Pastry, Cafe Victoria, or something different.
Modern pastry. So all of them
Yeah.
are off my list. All of them
Okay.
are off my list. My favorite cannoli in the North End is from this little hole in the wall. It's called Dolce.
Oh
And
yeah.
what yeah, it's amazing. Espresso bar, cool, great vibes. So when you walk in, there's a whole case and it looks like gelato, but it's actually cannoli filling. So they do the different flavors as well, but they use the gelato spades to fill the cannoli. So all in the
Oh,
gelato pans is cannoli cream, and then they have all their chocolate shells are in the big glass jars. So they're all displayed really cool, really. So you pick your shell, you pick your cream, and they actually spade it into the cannoli, which I thought was cool. And I thought
like
the
a
middle was
mason.
going to. So exactly. So the first time we went, I was like, oh, and I was like, the middle's not going to be filled. And my husband, could you relax, just try it? I was just such a snob because I'm like,
Yeah.
these people don't know cannoli. Well, we're used to different ones than they are. But let me tell you, I went back and I took 3 dozen home.
There you go.
And
It's always like
that's my go-to.
That's
you're
an
like
endorsement.
you're like an artist looking at other people's art, or a athlete looking at other athletes. It's tough when you walk into Dolce not to sort of look at it a different way than we would.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the pastry bags, people? Like, what are you doing? What is like gelato? We went in the middle of winter. We went January, so I'm like, why do they have gelato? What is going on? And the lady was like, you can pick your cannoli cream, and I was like, no way. And they did have the candy fruit one, amazing. So I did get a half dozen of those, but definitely really cool to see. Modern pastry, wasn't a fan. Mike's pastry, not my favorite.
Yeah.
But I just love the little hole in the wall Dolce. That's where I go to.
That's awesome. You have also made Mannino's Bellevue Avenue a great place to go for different nights. I've been to a couple of paint nights. You've had a medium there. We've learned that Gina has absolutely no artistic skill when I go to these events at your place.
Can confirm. I can confirm that.
Yeah. You have some stuff coming up for Valentine's Day. Is that true?
Yeah, February 5th, we're throwing a Valentine's Day party from 6 to 9 p.m. We're going to have a couple local vendors, some permanent jewelry. Tony the Medium will be there doing some tarot card reading, candle vendor, a couple vendors that do, what else am I having? A t-shirt apparel. We're going to have some body scrubs, hand scrubs, lotions. I just put it out there and I try and limit to 4 or 5 local vendors and let them come and set up, and just a really nice time for people to get together. We're also having a build your own flower bouquet. Okay. So we have a vendor coming in. She's amazing. I've seen her work, and she sets up a whole thing with different flowers. You pick different pieces and you bouquet it up and you take it out.
And if someone wants to give their Valentine a gift from your place, what are you doing special for Valentine's Day?
So we will have chocolate covered strawberries. We will have stuffed cannoli chocolate covered strawberries dipped in chocolate chips.
Oh
we
my
also
God.
have Cocoa Bombs chocolate covered Oreos, and then we also have a strawberry cannoli, a brownie cannoli, and then a chocolate covered strawberry cannoli as well.
Wow. Sounds
Wish I
delicious.
wasn't allergic to strawberries. Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay.
The menu for February is definitely way up there in the chocolate field, but red velvet cupcakes. I'm going to try a red velvet cannoli and see how that comes out as well.
If you need a tester, let me know.
I will definitely let you know for sure.
Yeah.
Joe volunteers as tribute.
I love it.
Indeed. Will you be at the Atlantic Cape Culinary Gala again this year?
I am not. We're actually away. I'm so sorry. We'll be away. But I am a sponsor for that, so I do donate the cannoli and the cannoli cream, and the culinary students do put the platters together.
Okay.
So I am still involved. I'm just going to not be present, that's all. I love the theme this year. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's
disco. It's like disco throwback. Yeah.
Oh my God, Gabby! I can see you totally getting into that with your outfit.
I would have a sequins jumpsuit. I love it.
That's a great look.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. So I won't be there, but the cannoli will be there for sure.
Okay. All right.
Are you going, Joe?
I am still undecided as of yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I amazingly don't have anything in my closet that would fit a disco theme.
We're going to have to get you a leisure suit.
We can go shopping, Joe. We just need your card. That's all.
That's all.
I don't know what you're gonna get with my card, Gabby. You're gonna get arrested. Kicked out of the store.
You're out. You're out for sure.
I can't thank you enough for joining us. And
thank you guys for having me.
And as the weather warms up and the food truck event's happening, not only will you see Gabby and the Mannino and her food truck at different local events, You'll also see our sponsor, Demeglio Septic and Quality Sanitation.
Yes, you will. Demeglio Septic and Quality Sanitation are here for a variety of services, including septic pump out, grease trap service, high pressure jetting, portable toilets, and more. Call 609-561-3597 or go to DemeglioSeptic.com for Demeglio Septic, or call 609-561-4666 for Quality Sanitation. Experience the Demeglio difference, a promise of superior service, quality, and reliability.
Thank you, and we'll see you soon, Gabby.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
Gabby.
Thanks,
Stay
Gabby.
warm. See
Thank
ya.
Wow, that was a great interview with Gabby. She is always so dynamic. But
Yes.
now we have to turn our attention over to what's going on in Vineland and their Data One hearing. Joe?
Yeah, that was
Sorry. This is a letdown after that interview.
yeah, it was like, all right, thanks, Gabby. Okay, now back to actual business. On January 21st, more than 100 residents attended a town hall hosted by Data One at the Landis Theater in Vineland regarding that company's proposed data center currently under construction. The purpose behind the meeting was to attempt to reassure residents about the center's positive impact on, or possible, rather, my apologies, big difference, about the center's possible impact on electricity, water, and the environment. As we had previously discussed here, the meeting was not originally an open Q&A per se. It was an information session with pre-selected questions, but they did allow an open mic session so long as attendees remained, quote, orderly. According to reports, the company's CEO, Charles-Antoine Benet, traveled from France to attend the session. He told the audience that the facility would operate differently from traditional data centers, utilizing a closed-loop system that generates water through condensation rather than consuming local supplies, producing and storing 20 million gallons of their own water. It would also pay its own power costs, avoiding any increase in residents' electricity bills. Benet said that the data center would be in compliance with the DEP's noise standards and that, compared with other industrial uses, emissions would be minimal. He said, quote, "Most of the data centers that are being built today suck big time. They consume water, they pollute, and they are extremely not efficient. This is clearly not what we are building here." Also, according to reports, Benet proposed community initiatives, including building a vertical farm across the street which will grow crops indoors to provide weekly fresh produce to low-income residents. After the presentation, residents were able to voice their questions and concerns. Some were eased and others were not, with some noting that such a forum probably would have been more helpful before the first shovel hit the ground, even though the original concept was approved by Vineland's planning board in 2024, which brings us back to last week's conversation about planning board and land use notification and so forth. In any event, the project still requires additional state and local permit approvals before any expansion of the facility can proceed.
It's a
It
massive
sounds,
project.
yeah, and it doesn't sound like all the questions were answered. A lot were, but not enough.
That was the impression that I got as well. I don't know that you could properly answer all of the questions in a forum like this. I like that they did allow an open mic session because that was a concern of residents, and that was a concern that we had said here also. If they get to pre-select the questions, then they control the information and the message. Allowing residents to just openly voice their concerns provided a more transparency and a more honest dialogue. But
maybe there should be some sort of land use rule, and I'm not an elected official, as we all know, and there's no shot of me ever being elected to anything other than maybe dog catcher. But that if it's going to have an impact of certain level of magnitude, which we'd have to come up with some sort of standard definition, that we have to have massive town-wide notice and not, like you said, 1,000 feet, 2,000 feet. And maybe that's something that we need to consider as a state and or as different municipalities, maybe just South Jersey to start, that we need to have this town-wide notification, and we have to find multiple ways to do it because there's so much noise competing out there for our attention. You can't just put it in a newspaper or on Facebook because not everybody reads paper, not everybody is on Facebook. You need to do maybe 5 or 6 different things for certain things, like building a hospital, something that's gonna use X amount of data or is gonna be over a certain amount of square footage. That kind of stuff needs to have an impact. A school, and maybe that's a rule that a government who really cares about its constituents would enact.
I agree because most of the public notice laws were enacted decades ago. They just started to catch up with technology with what we talked about last week with the county going electric, pro or con, for or against it. It used to be like, all right, well, if you lived within 200 feet or whatever, you get a letter in the mail. Everybody else pay attention to the legal section of the newspaper. How many people even know that is a thing that exists anymore?
Yeah. And
Yeah,
to quote Gabe Donio, I'm going to say, sunshine is the best disinfectant. And it really is. The more light you can spread on a project, and there shouldn't be anything to hide when it comes to a project like this.
No, not at
Let's
all.
keep it transparent. Sorry to steal your quote there, Gabe.
no, it's okay. You used it correctly. And look, here's the thing: if you look at it, a right to know, but I think the public wants to know what's going on in the backyards of the community. And if there's certain hoops that have to be jumped through, so be it. I just think these projects are, as I said, massive and they have a large impact. And I think the least we could ask developers to do is to let people know what they're going to do before they do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just consideration for your
Let's
neighbors.
yeah, and let's move over to some really good news about our friends at the Hammonton Education Foundation. Gabe?
That's right, Gina. There's going to be a nice event coming up put on by the Atlantic County Council of Education Associations, and they have three award winners that they're honoring for 2026. One is Christian Moreno of El Pueblo Unido. One is Angela Krukowskis of No One Hungry EHC, and then the Hamilton Education Foundation, represented by Kevin Free, and Chief Kevin Friel will be accepting that award. The ACCEA Friends of Education Awards were established in 2014 to honor and recognize individuals, groups, and organizations who make significant contributions to our great public schools and support students and staff who work in public. This celebration and gala also highlights the accomplishments of Atlantic County public school graduates and honors community members and administrators whose innovative or unique contributions directly support our school's mission of delivering a high quality education and supporting excellence in public education. So that is going to be coming up, and it's basically just a nice honor for our local education foundation.
Yeah, I have to be honest, as a board member of the Ed Foundation, we're super jazzed about it. It's going to be really exciting. It's nice to be recognized for the work that we've done. I've been a board member for a little over 10 years, I want to say. And we do these things. We provide grants to supplement the educational offerings in the Hamilton School District. And to be recognized by the Teachers Association is super awesome for us because we do it for them and the students, like helping them out. The teachers have to apply for these grants, and we're just funding their ideas
Yeah.
and how they can make education better. So we're super excited. President Kevin Friel, who's also our chief of police in Hamilton, I'm sure he's going to give a great speech or whatever it's going to be. And we can't wait. And just a wonderful honor and such good news in January.
Yeah, I think that everything that HEF has done, I don't even think above and beyond qualifies is a proper descriptor for that. Just the food pantry alone is award worthy. The money that was granted for the food pantry.
For them. We do
Yes,
for them.
yeah, food pantries, because it started off at the high school and then
Yeah.
expanded each building. Just the grants awarded for that alone is award worthy, and I think that this is well deserved, and I think it is long past due. Truthfully,
Thank
Yeah,
you.
the
Yeah.
Education Foundation started with a lot of promise and has sustained that promise. And congratulations to everyone involved.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a great organization. Gabe, I know we were feeling a little cabin feverish earlier in the week with the weather. Do we have some cool events coming up?
We do, Gina, and the calendar is sponsored by Rocco's Townhouse, who pride themselves on being a spot where everyone can meet and eat. delicious appetizers, entrees, burgers, and more, along with a full bar and plenty of craft beers on tap. Remember, everyone meets at the Townhouse, 21 North 3rd Street in Hammonton. Call them at 609-561-9384 or visit roccostownhouse.com and now the Rocco's Townhouse community calendar. Let's check in on what's coming up around South Jersey because the calendar is full and there's something for everyone. First up, on Saturday, January 31st, the Amish Outlaws are hitting the stage at the Landis Theater. The show starts at 8 p.m. Tickets range from $25 to $35. And if you've never seen them live, expect high energy, big sound, and a whole lot of fun. That's Saturday night, January 31st at the Landis. On Saturday, February 7th, it's a big one as Hammonton as 3 Threes Brewing celebrates their 10th anniversary. It's an all day party with collaboration beers, giveaways, and plenty of reasons to stop by and raise a glass. 10 years is no small feat. Congratulations to 3 Threes Brewing. Saturday and Sunday, February 7th and 8th, if you're looking for a little something different for Valentine's weekend, Iron Ranch Stables is hosting Pucker Up with Cupid's Critters. Families can book a 10-minute time slot between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. to feed, cuddle, and snap photos with some truly adorable farm animals. It's $30 per family and spots are limited. You'll want to call or text Emily at 609-312-9684 to reserve. On Friday, February 13th, grab your friends and head to Tomasello Winery for Galentine's Sip, Sup, and Paint. It starts at 6 p.m. and features wine, food, and a hands-on creative night out. The perfect way to kick off Galentine's Day weekend. And as always, if you've got a community event coming up, send it our way and we'll get it on the calendar. The Oddcast community calendar is sponsored by Rocco's Townhouse, and we thank them for supporting local events.
I
Back
just
to you.
I feel like it was just yesterday, Joe and Gabe, when you guys were talking to me about Valentine's Day, when
I
Gabe wanted to have his own event.
I was just going to comment. We still haven't gotten on Palentine's Day. We need to make that a thing. And as a reminder to everybody out there, it's copyrighted and trademarked.
Right. Not yours, it's ours.
Well, guest host John Donio reached out to me last week and he wanted to ask people to vote and support the Doo-Wop Museum in Wildwood as part of a USA Today 10 Best contest. And John was very gracious to us and was one of our co-hosts when Gabe was out sick in December. And the
That's right.
Doo-Wop Museum is very cool in Wildwood, New Jersey. It celebrates all the cool things about that time period. I have not been there, which I feel really bad as his sister-in-law say. Gabe, have you been?
I've been there and had a nice tour with John. It's got the old neon signs from Wildwood that a lot of people remember. It's got a lot of the classic television sets and all sorts of sort of kitschy, cool artifacts from the era of what we call the doo-wop era, the populux era, the mid-century modern era of the late 40s to say, I don't know, early 70s. And it's got this great sort of vibe to it. If you haven't been, it's certainly worthwhile to go. And it's worth a vote if people want to vote for the Doo-Wop Museum as a great place
Best
to
pop
visit.
culture museum.
Does the
Then
mu- does the museum have a couple of guys standing around and burning trash cans, singing in 4-part harmony on a street corner?
no, but they
Does
should maybe
does
outside.
yeah,
John sings. Maybe that's what John should be doing to
Yeah,
get more
that's right.
votes.
yeah, because that is always the first image that pops in my head when I hear the term doo-wop. I think of listening to Street Corner Sundays on Oldies 98, or when Rocky is walking down the street in Philly and there's a bunch of guys singing and da, 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 like the whole,
Yep.
just that's doo-wop to me.
Okay, so how do you vote? You could be lazy like me and Google Doo-Wop Museum vote, and I think it's the top one. That's me because I'm lazy. Or you can go to 10best.usatoday.com and just find it on there. Again, please vote. There's like about 10 or days left. Vote early, vote often, as we say.
Yeah,
So that is
it really is a cool venue. It's a cool museum and worthy of your vote. I think if you get some time, Everyone should go down there. You guys, I recommend it.
Yeah. And then in other news, which really doesn't mean a lot to me, but I feel it means a lot more to Joe and Gabe in our pop culture moment, is Uncle Floyd Vivino passed.
Uncle Floyd. We lost Uncle Floyd. I'm surprised, that he didn't, that you couldn't watch him where you were growing up, because was he on Channel 48 or was he on a WWR9 out of Secaucus?
Gabe,
He was
did my dad know
actually
who that
on.
was?
Yes, he did, and he was on public TV.
Okay.
Believe it or not, he was on public TV.
Okay.
And I guess back then, was it NJN?
Oh, maybe. Okay.
And the Uncle Floyd show with
Oh,
Looney Skip Rooney and Oogie
Oogie.
and
Yeah.
the puppet.
And
A lot of great memories.
a lot of great memories. That man had guests that he had no business having on that show. Like the Ramones were on the Uncle Floyd show. He had individually Mickey Dolenz, Peter Tork, and Davy Jones. David Bowie was a fan of his and was turned on to the Uncle Floyd show by John Lennon. He was a cultural icon. And the only thing I can't believe is that he was only like 70 something. For whatever reason, Uncle Floyd in my head has been 50 years old for the last 40 years.
Yeah, I thought when he was in Good Morning Vietnam,
Yeah.
I thought he was in his late 40s, early 50s. But no, obviously he was much younger than that, since that movie is from the 80s.
Yeah, 87, I think.
Yeah, unbelievable. Just good, clean fun.
Yeah.
And just wacky the way he dressed with the blazers and the loud plaid and the pork pie hat.
Yeah.
And how about those old songs he would sing on the stand-up piano?
Yeah.
Everything that you remember from the show. And he had a huge, for a pre-social media era, he had a huge following.
Yeah.
We knew him, obviously, and there were fans who knew him. Gina, you just have to. It basically was like a send up of a kids show that was not really for kids.
Yeah,
That was
that's
right.
yeah, that pretty much covers it. Like a one-man vaudeville show who was doing a kids show in 1950, but if those kids were grown up now. So it's a basic format we all recognized, but it was really not for children, even though we watched it as kids. We watched everything as kids that we shouldn't have watched anyway, so
Pretty much. Yeah,
it's
you
really no
feel
metric for Gen X.
no. In sad news, more local, Ansia Klein passed away, and I will say this, as a woman in business, Ansia Klein was definitely a role model for so many of us. She passed away at the age of 83. She is survived by her husband of 49 years, Jerry. She graduated from Wharton School at University of Pennsylvania and the Annenberg School of Communications. She was a public relations guru and received numerous awards for her outstanding achievements and contributions to profession and to business. She was inducted into the Philadelphia Public Relations Association Hall of Fame, and in 2006, she was inducted into Rowan University's Public Relations Hall of Fame. She was given a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Philadelphia chapter of the Public Relations Society of America, and in 2018, she received the Lifetime Legacy Award from South Jersey Magazine as a Woman of Excellence. And she has won numerous business awards, not just dedicated to women, but just to so many for her work. She had her own public relations firm that she had for about 35 years. She was a professional advisor for more than 30 years at Rowan University, and she helped so many young people get their business careers started. She's also a dedicated volunteer with the American Heart Association, and she really was involved with the Go Red for Women campaign. In 2015, she and her husband Jerry received the inaugural Heart of South Jersey Award for Go Red for Women. She was also involved with different chambers of commerce and different forums and groups. She received her accreditation in public relations in 1972, and she served in the Philadelphia chapter of the Public Relations Society of America and different chapters of that association. She received recognition for 50 years of membership from different organizations. She was just a dedicated person to her craft. She wrote 2 books in her retirement because she sold her business after 35 years. The books focus on like the groundbreaking women of the Penn class of 1964, and then a book about finding your career niche, about helping women find their business careers. And the books are available on Amazon. She grew up here in Hammonton, and after she and her husband married, they moved to Mount Laurel, and for the last 35-ish years, approximately, they lived in Medford. Relatives and friends are invited to attend Anne's visitation on Saturday, January 31st from 9:30 to 10:45 at St. Joseph's Church on 3rd Street, and a Mass of Christian burial will be celebrated at 11 a.m. In kind remembrance of Anne, donations may be made in her memory to Cure, PSP, and arrangements were made by the Marinella Funeral Home. Gabe and I knew Anne and Jerry pretty well. We'd go out to dinner or brunch with them, and they were a lovely couple, and Anne was just a force and just a powerful woman in business.
Yes, sad news. And anyone who knew Anne knew she was a dynamic person, deserved honors for her because she certainly made her mark in her field, her given field of public relations with her firm and also with her career before her firm. And Cia Klein, certainly someone who came out of Hamilton and then went on to do great things in the region and really deserving of every award she received and really made a great life. Our condolences to Jerry, of course, at this time.
I did not have the pleasure, but I did attend Rowan twice from 96 to 2000 and from 2013 to 2015. And I had a lot of my classes were in Bunce Hall, where the PR department was located and where the PR SSA met. And I didn't know her, but I knew the name. And yeah, I knew of her, and I knew that the name was spoken with reverence.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you're going to be out about town now that the weather's looking a little bit better, you should probably be repping some Oddcast gear. Isn't that right, Joe?
Oh, that is always right. Whether you're out and about or whether you're sitting inside because you still haven't shoveled your way out, either way you go, you should be repping the Oddcast gear. We've got hats that you shouldn't wear indoors, but everywhere you go, we got mugs like Gabe and I always rock. Gina, you got to get on that. T-shirts, tumblers, magnets, and especially for this time of year, we've got a classic crew neck sweatshirt, we've got a pullover hoodie, and a zip-up hoodie. We've got all of that and more at jersey-oddcast.printify.me.
Thanks, Joe. And now it's time for the Odd Poll. And I want to make it really Jersey this week. So it's a culture check. What is the most Jersey thing ever? Holding an inaugural event at a mall, arguing over where South Jersey begins, loving cursive handwriting but never using it, or D, all of the above? Yeah, I'm going to go first.
Okay.
Arguing where South Jersey begins, because that is my favorite thing to do to provoke people. Because I'm from New York, so I really don't care. We all know belongs probably 5 miles above the Hammonton border, because that's it, and does not include Cherry Hill, because that is something else. I don't even know what that area is. I think it firmly ends like Washington Township area. I have a very small South Jersey.
That's a small footprint.
Are you one of those heathens that believe in Central Jersey?
I don't know what that is. I think everything else is North Jersey.
A lot of people believe in Central Jersey.
Never heard of it.
No, it's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's been recognized by former Governor Phil Murphy.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why he's former, let alone term limits. But
I'm just saying it starts a fight, in my opinion. So what's yours of that list I gave you? What is the most Jersey thing?
I'm gonna go with that, because insisting on the instruction of cursive but never using it, that's not specific to New Jersey.
Okay.
The mall thing, okay, that's kind of Jersey-ish, but I could picture, I don't know, where's the Mall of America? I could picture somebody doing it there. But arguing over where South Jersey ends is probably the most New Jersey thing, and I am going to say that it ends right below Trenton. There's that where like the state's waist. You cut that in half. North Jersey, South Jersey.
Gabe, what's your answer for the odd poll?
Growing up, and I agree with you too, I think the most Jersey debate is where is South Jersey and North Jersey and now Central Jersey, because people talk about that all the time.
Shut up.
Growing up, I agree with Joe. You bisected the state right around Trenton and went south, north. but it does create some debates, and people are definitely have a high allegiance to their region. That there is no doubt. If you
Yeah.
say you're from South Jersey, you get certain looks from people up north. And if you don't have to say you're from North Jersey, usually we can figure it out just by the tone and the sound and the accent in your voice.
Yeah.
So it's if we're from Southern New Jersey, but it's a debate that's going to continue to rage, I think.
Let us know the
Wait.
thoughts and drop your comments. Let us know what the most Jersey thing is.
I'll tell you when I think it started to get murky. Back in the day, you could delineate North Jersey and South Jersey by area code. It was 609 and I think 201. Once they introduced 856 and 973 and whatever else, that's when it started to get weird. But back in the day, we had two area codes. I think I said zip codes earlier. We had two
Yeah,
area codes. And that was it. If you were in 609, you were South Jersey. If you were in the other one, you were North Jersey. And that was it.
Fair
And
enough.
I stand by it.
I wonder what our friends at United Roll-Off would say about this debate, Gabe.
I'm sure since they're all over Southern New Jersey, I think they're firmly rooted in Southern New Jersey. But I'm sure they agree with the debate about North and South and maybe Central. If you're looking for fast, reliable dumpster service, call United Roll-Off Service and Recycling LLC. Family owned by the Grasso family and proudly serving South Jersey since 1999. 3 generations strong, United Roll-Off is your local solution for household cleanouts, construction debris, concrete, and yard waste with 11, 20, and 30-yard dumpsters ready when you need them. Serving Hammonton and all of Atlantic, Burlington, Camden, Cumberland, and Gloucester counties, they've got the size, service, and local touch you can trust. Visit them at 735 Wiltshire Mill Road, Hammonton, or call 609 561 8287 to get started today. United Roll Off, local, loyal, and ready to haul.
As my mom has been on my mind a lot lately, so I want to come up with an Oddcast odd fact that she would love. Before Malamars became a blink and you miss it seasonal snack, they made their debut right here in New Jersey. The National Biscuit Company, what we now know as Nabisco, first introduced Malamars in West Hoboken, today's Union City, on November 13th, 1913. Graham cracker base, marshmallow middle, and dark chocolate coating, and somehow still the most dramatic cookie disappearance of every winter. New Jersey, inventing snacks and then taking them away. And it was on my mind because I was at my mother's house last week with her, and of course she had Malamars in the fridge, as she does every winter.
Oh man, I haven't had a Malamar in ages, which is probably good for my blood sugar, but I miss them.
They are good. They're as good as you remember.
Oh.
I don't think I've ever had a Malamar.
And you
Ever.
never will with your celiac.
Oh,
That's right.
you
I'm
completely missed the boat on that one. I'm so
out.
sorry. At least you don't know what you're missing.
Okay, that's good.
Joe, if you want to wander out into the supermarket this weekend to find some Malamars, would you be able to? This week? Is there going to be okay weather?
Well, since you asked, it sounds like it's time for the Oddcast forecast, according to the app on my smartphone, and sponsored by Ben Castone Landscaping. Call Ben Castone for all your landscaping needs at 609 561 3452. They're here to keep your yard looking great no matter what the season, and it's going to be cold. Cold.
Okay,
Like-
snuggle up. Gabe and I will be cuddling on the couch.
Yeah,
It is
like
winter.
it is, but it's going to go cold
Okay.
even for winter.
Tell us.
Wednesday, partly sunny to cloudy, a high of 25 and a low of 10. Thursday, same thing, intervals of clouds and sun, also a high of 25 and a low of 10. And then we're going to get a slight warm up on Friday, more clouds and sun with a high of 27 and a low of 11. Now, maybe you can unzip that hoodie a little bit on Friday. But
Thank you to everyone, and what a great show. And thank you to Gabriella Mannino Tomasello for joining us. If you want to learn more about the Oddcast, give us a call at 609-444-6178. Visit us online at jerseyoddcast.com. Find us on social media, your favorite streaming app, and of course on YouTube. We'll be back next week with more chaos, commentary, and community, because someone's got to do it. Have a great week.
Stay warm,
Thank you.
everybody.
Indeed.